Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How you guys doing? Everybody's having a good, pleasant morning. I like this waking up at about the 6 o'clock and doing the Bible reading. Oh, hope everyone's okay this morning. The house is astir. The thing about waking up early is the thing about waking up early in the morning is that you have to sleep earlier, especially if you want to be consistent in the things that you want to do. Like for me, I'm just streaming for the purpose of documenting, going over the verses, Proverbs, all the Proverbs in 365 days. So hopefully you are enjoying this journey and coming together. We'll get started in about a minute. Or I could get started now. No reason why I should hold back. There we go. All right. Welcome again. We're continuing our journey in Proverbs. And hopefully you are waking up ready to hear the word and listen to a little bit of commentary with some mild research and my own initial thoughts of doing Proverbs. I do just a voice recording beforehand, says so I could put this on a podcast or something. Podcast or just Bible Gateway or other apps or something. But let's continue on. We are in Proverbs 6:1-5. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, have given your pledge for a stranger, if you are snared in the words of your mouth, caught in the words of your mouth, then do this, my son, and save yourself. For you have come into the hand of your neighbor. Go hasten and plead urgently with your neighbor. Give your eyes no sleep and your eyelids no slumber. Save yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the hand of the fowler. One of the things that for this one is these words are the words that kind of like I had to sort of look up a little bit, and these are a danger. And what the writer here, Solomon, is talking about is this idea of helping your friend in a loan or giving your money to someone who's asking for help or something. A modern day version of this is co-signing for a loan. The issue with that is if you are defaults, if your friend, the person who the main signer of a loan, defaults on the loan, the co-signer is the one that's responsible for paying for it. And so, in no way whatsoever, maybe you could quote me on this one or search it up yourself, does it say in the Bible that you should be kind to your neighbor, love your neighbor, to the extent that you will put yourself in financial hardships? Yeah, I'm not buying that. Yes, you should be kind to your neighbor. Yes, you should love your neighbor. Yes, you should do all that stuff and everything like that. Help them out and everything like that. But if you're put in a situation legally because of them and put you in financial duress, that's not appropriate at all. Because first and foremost, you should be taking care of your own financial situations. I don't see anywhere in the Bible where you have to put yourself into hardship so you could kind of help other people. Saving other people is another situation of like going to a third world nation or a country where people are being discriminated against and getting shot, and of people who are more powerful than them and they can't help themselves. Yeah, you go in there and save yourself and put yourself in danger. That's totally up to you and your prerogative, and that is something to help people escape and stuff like that. But to put yourself up in a situation where you yourself are in financial duress, or like the result of it is you're having hardships financially and having a hard time living, that's not a thing. Now, a really good example, I guess, would be in the, I was going to say the prodigal, but I'm saying the Good Samaritan. That's the one I was looking at. Now, when the Good Samaritan came, he had money to give to pay for the night of the person who was taken advantage of. Okay. Now, I'm okay with spending a couple $100 to help someone stay a night someplace to receive help or whatever. Walking them to the hospital, it doesn't mean I'm paying for them. I could take someone to the hospital and they'll get treated and the financial situation will be dealt with over in that situation. I'm no longer liable for such things. So, because it's just a stranger. I wonder if there's a law for that. If I find someone injured and take them to the hospital, am I liable to pay for the services? I think that's a fair question. No, you are generally not liable for the hospital service if you help an injured person out of good faith. Good Samaritan laws protect bystanders from civil liability when they provide emergency care, as long as they don't act with gross negligence, bad faith, or for compensation. The person receiving care is responsible for the costs, and in a situation where the injured person is unable to do so, their own insurance or financial resources would apply. Okay, so it's called the Good Samaritan laws, which I actually wouldn't mind looking up a little bit more later. So we are in no way obligated to go ahead and help people financially in their dire situations and stuff like that. If they need a place to stay for a little bit while they get on their feet, that's a situation. I could go ahead and help a neighbor that way. I would be cautious about who I bring into the house because I have my wife and kids, so I have to use discretion in that matter. But when it comes to someone coming up to me and asking, like especially a stranger, making a pledge or security, like okay, but the thing is, it also says for your neighbor. So neighbor is it could be anyone, but I'm saying someone you have had interactions with, for a neighbor. Yeah, be careful of that. The advice here is to save yourself. Save yourself. I'll put that in the save yourself. Snare it in the words of your mouth. These are things that you do. Oops, I didn't mean to do it that way. Snare it in the words of your mouth. I like highlighting, but every so often I caught in the words of your mouth. You have ran your mouth. Yeah. I'll help you. Yeah. You ran your mouth and you did all that and everything like that. Then do this, my son. Again, he's talking to his son, Rehoboam. What's his name? Who was Solomon's son in Proverbs? I got to get his name right. Okay. Rehoboam. Rehol. How do you say that? Rehoboam. All right, anyone. It's talking to anyone. Like I said, Rehoboam. Save yourself. Save yourself. Get away from that situation. Don't be, well, initially you shouldn't be in that situation at all. Get out of, undo that co-signing, whatever it is you can do to get out of the situation. You shouldn't even be in that situation. Yes, you could go ahead and help someone and all that kind of stuff. But seriously, save yourself. I know out of good faith you're trying to help someone else, but if it's going to put you in a risky financial situation, then then you need to get out of that. Let me borrow $10,000. No, no. There. I don't know what the actual cap is for such a situation, but use your discretion when giving out money. When you give out money, you should be willing to say, okay, it's part of my budget and I'm giving you this money. I don't expect it back. All right. So my advice to you is to budget giving. It literally is like that. Budget, save yourself, take it out of your savings. So the 10% is a thing, right? And my budget line is give back to the Lord. So we have here's an example. Say like you're making a 40K a year, right? 40. Well, what is the? Okay, let's say that. Let's go with the averages. What is the average yearly salary income of a single family income of a single family in USA? Okay. The median household income, 83,730. That's the average, but is skewed by a smaller number of very high owners. Really? Oh, so it's talking about the whole house. So say like you have a whole house. You're talking about the whole house. The whole house is I'm trying to get good lighting under dark situations. So I'm going to go ahead and say the median is 83,000, or just for the sake of math, 80,000. So 10% of 80,000 is 8,000. So if you are, and that's before taxes, obviously. If you want to give back, because I think it's biblical that you give back a portion of your money, the first fruits, to your to God. Give your first fruits to God. I think that's a sacrifice that everyone should have, first fruits. Now you could do tithing and tithe the 10% to your church exclusively. That's totally fine. Give the 8,000 and just give it to your church and stuff like that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that you should tithe that much, because I personally do my own ministry on my own, running small groups, discipling, taking people out ministry wise. And so I need a line item in my budget that accounts for that. Otherwise, it'll come out as something else, like like a personal or something. I'm taking someone out. It's my personal. But I think that that's not what it should be like. It should be a part of your good stewardship to be able to budget your money in a way that you could use it efficiently and effectively. And so the way to do that is to do a line item, budget it. So right when you get your check, whatever your check is, take out 10% and put it into the line item. So if you're making 83,000 a year and you get that check for 83, like, that's not how it works in the world, but whatever. 83,000, you get the $83,000, right? You go ahead and take that money which is your first fruits, and say, okay, $8,300, $8,300 is going into that line item. Now you have $8,000 to use that year for the purposes of doing God's work. So maybe you went ahead and allocated like for monthly, so to say, that you're putting in like a couple $100s a month to the local church that you're attending. Okay. And then you also have a line item to use for other purposes, like you're doing dinner every single week for your small groups. So you use that money to pay for that. Or you want to take your disciple to a certain place, out to a meal, or get some drinks or something at Starbucks. I'm not sure if you want to support Starbucks anymore, but whatever your take on that, whatever you go on that. But what are the alternatives? Do I go to Dunkin' Donuts? I still like the atmosphere of a Starbucks. It depends on where you go. I know that a lot of homeless people go there, but you should go there with their homeless people. Like, it's an opportunity to share and to give to the needy. So yeah, see, like that, I could go to Starbucks and person goes, "Hey, can you give me some money?" No, but I could give you a coffee. You want to go want me to give you a coffee? And I'll give them a coffee. No big deal. I know the prices are bloated, but yeah, you're still giving. So, and take that out of your give back to the Lord fund. Like, and you don't have to think about it too much. Because people who don't budget it's thinking like, oh, I don't know if I can handle giving a couple $10 bills to some random person. So, but if you have that in your budget, it's not a big deal, right? But in no way whatsoever am I going beyond my budget and giving to the Lord, because that rest of the money, I have bills to pay. It's expensive to be living right now. Like, I was looking at my budget, and for 1 week we're spending like $300 to $400 just for, actually more than $400 just for food. We have a wife and 4 kids. We're hungry little people. My 13-year-old, he eats up a lot of stuff. I eat stuff. So keeping that in mind, be good stewards of your money. Plan ahead if you're going to give ahead of time. And I think that's being a good steward. Like, seriously, if a friend really does have a need, you could give them like $1,000 and just say, "Hey, here's $1,000. Get yourself situated, whatever." All right. This is Brent for a single, actually. What is the going rent rate for a studio? I guess in California. Can I? Wow. The studio is $18.64 a month. $18.64 a month. What the heck? Jeez, that's ridiculous. Oh. I'll give you $2,000 to pay for rent in a studio. That's 1 month rent. Get you started in life. Hopefully you have a job in place and you get rid of all of your unnecessary hobbies. A lot of sacrifice you have to do to I'll give you $1,000 to get you off your feet to pay half of your rent. I'm not going to pay your whole rent. Sorry, buddy. It's not in my budget to go ahead and pay for another adult to live in this world. Actually, why don't you go ahead and I'll give you a month to go live on my couch. You want to live with me for a month? Live on my couch for a month. Actually, we're looking for a house that we could have an extra room for someone I'm going to call them transients. All right, transitional people who are transitioning from one life to another, which is actually one of my wife's goals. Is one of the things she kind of thought about earlier in her marriage is that we would make a lot of money to be able to afford a house as a halfway house, to allow people to live with us when they are in need and they need a place to stay, to for a duration of time, and then they can move on. Which is actually a thing we did. We had a woman and her daughter live with us for a short amount of time. We had a detached extra room with a single shower. So they had their own bathroom and little stand up shower in our previous house. And yeah, she lived with us for a few months, and then after she was able to get some of her acts together and find another place for herself, either that or a homeless shelter, which is actually pretty cool one that we were trying to get her into. I don't know her current situation right now, but yeah, we wanted to do that. So there are ways in which to help someone who are in need that need home and stuff like that, and you could use your own property to help in as a transition. No, you are not obligated to keep them forever, but you have to make boundaries and to have a time frame. Hey, by this time, do this. Like if push comes to shove in the last minutes, like last couple of weeks, I can't find anything, then yeah, you should go out yourself and find a place where they could stay. I think that's appropriate. For you, okay. It's verse 3. Save yourself, for you have come in the hands of your neighbor. Go hasten and plead urgently. Yeah. So what happens is that you are beholden to your neighbor. You don't want to be in that situation. You don't want to be in that. So plead urgently with your neighbor to get out. You need to get out of there. You need to get out of that situation. You should not have put yourself in that situation. Give your eyes no sleep, and your eyelids no slumber. Save yourself. Save yourself. Again, he said it twice. Save yourself. Plead urgently with your neighbor, like a bird. So, like, you need to run from that situation. You need to get out of that situation, like a gazelle like running away from the hunter. You're getting shot at. It's ridiculous. That's not something you should be in. Like a bird from the hand of a fowl. Yeah, you need to just get out. Get out. So my advice to you: get out. Proverbs 6:5 to 1 to 5. Don't get in a situation where you're putting yourself in financial duress. If you find yourself in such things because you get your mouth, you were caught in your words. Yeah, sure, I'll help you out. If you are going to help them out, set boundaries of what you could do. Like, I can only help you out with this much. I'm not going to co-sign for a loan for you, not at all. Unless you yourself are financially capable of doing such things. That's totally up to you. I'm not able to do that because I don't have the personal capital to be able to do that yet. I don't know, maybe I'll get a windfall, whatever. But I could help you have a place to stay, because I'm not in any position to help with starting businesses, right? Unless I myself have that dream in the business and I'm partnering with one of my best friends and we've been planning for a long time and all that kind of stuff and everything. And so, yeah, that's something I would do, like local game, LGS. If I was forming my local gaming store, which is one of the dreams of my friend, which is one of mine. I wouldn't mind like having if the economy was different and they're more positive towards local businesses, then yeah, I would go ahead and try something like that if I had the capital to start one. But right now, no, I'm not yet. So until then, I will be not risk my money or my financial stability for neighbors. I'll have a line item in my budget that allows me to spend have a couple $1,000s there, so that I could go ahead and give to wherever I give it. Yeah, so yeah, I give to my local church. I also have some kids that in other countries that I'm kind of funding and everything like that. Missionaries that I give money to. So my money is going to all different places to further God's kingdom, but it's because it's within the umbrella of the budget that I made. My line item of giving, it's called giving back to the Lord. Okay, so I'm doing it. So my first fruits are being used for the kingdom. So if that's your boundary line, and I think that's a very positive and a good way in which to be able to give to other people, is actually plan for it. That's the 10%. It's up to you to decide how much percentage you want to put away for God's money at the first fruits. So mine is 10% because the tithing thing, that's kind of put on. But if you have the money to go ahead and do more, that's totally up to you. And then you could give more, but within your budget. So I'm just saying. Anyways, didn't know this was going to be a budgeting morning of how to use your money well. But that's a part of stewardship, a part of being a good follower of Jesus Christ and having wisdom. You have to have wisdom with your money. So hopefully that was helpful for you, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.